What's going on, folks? Welcome back to D-Life HD. This is Victor, and today we're going to be discussing The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD for the Nintendo Switch. We're going to go over my first impressions with the game, so without any further delay, let's jump right into it.
Switch it up. Switch it up. I was a worker, had to upgrade to a boss. I had to switch it up. Used to live in the hood, but had to upgrade to a loaf. I had to switch it up.
Okay, let's get a few things out of the way first. I've never played Skyward Sword before, so this is my first experience with the game. I know it's a little bit infamous for its motion controls, but I know that at its core, people do love it, especially for its dungeon design, which so far I'm actually really enjoying. Some people, I guess, give it flack for the fact that it's a little bit more linear. Like, it's not an open world where you have to find where the dungeons are. It basically tells you directly where to go, and you've got a couple of puzzles to solve before you get into each dungeon, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that. It helps me know exactly where I'm supposed to go without having to use a guide, which I don't like going constantly back and forth between the game and a guide. It just kind of annoys me. I like the open world nature of Breath of the Wild, but I mean, that's like one of my favorite games of all time, but I definitely like the complete opposite style, where it basically just, hey, you've got really awesome dungeons to do, you've got a pretty engaging story, and we're going to tell you exactly where you need to go to get to those dungeons. I think it's convenient, and I think especially for like a 30-40 hour game like this, knowing exactly where to go, I can streamline it without thinking and worrying about accidentally doing quests that aren't really necessary. Because in Zelda games, they don't necessarily tell you what the main quest and what a side quest is. Like, you might do a chore for somebody, and it might not do anything but get you an extra item or something that you don't need. Whereas with this game, you know exactly where you need to go and exactly what you need to do, and I kind of like that. I think it's cool. As for the motion controls, I think the motion controls work extremely well, especially when it's not the Wii pointer. The gyro in the Joy-Cons functions as the sort of key to where your sword is being pointed, so all you have to do if it gets off is reset it by clicking one button. This is something that they added in Mario Galaxy in the 3D All-Stars collection, and I really loved it. And also seeing these Wii games that are more stylized in HD works so well. Like, Mario Galaxy looks fantastic, and Skyward Sword I think looks almost as good. It looks really great in its sort of watercolor style. I really enjoy what they're going for. Some people I've heard online are saying that the HD version of the graphics subtracts from that style that they were going for, but I don't really have an issue with that. I know what the original game looks like, and I think that the HD version of it looks great. Also, I don't mind using the Joy-Cons. I think having them separate is actually rather comfortable, and that's how I've been playing it the whole time. I did try out the button controls. In my actual review, I'll go over the button controls more, but oh man, they're not very good. I can say that right now. I definitely prefer the motion controls, because mapping the sword to the stick works, but it does not work very well. I can say that. Like I said, the dungeon designs are really great so far. I've completed 2 dungeons, the more of like a foresty type one, and then the Earth, I think is what it's called. It's a volcano type place, and now I'm about to enter into the 3rd one, so I'm pretty far through the game already. I'm probably about 1/3 of the way there, and yeah, I'm really loving it. I really like Skyward Sword for, I guess, a lot of the characters that are in it. It's got a really neat story, but also the characters are really funny, and some of them just look really stupid. Like, there's a fortune teller guy in the sort of bazaar area on the hub, and he has a huge head and like a small body, but like his head is the width of his body, so it looks like he's sort of just like a giant head almost with a shirt over him. I don't know, it's weird, but it's funny. And some characters have like really small faces but giant heads. And then of course there's Groose, who's sort of this comedic effect guy, and and he's constantly picking on Link, and he thinks he's the greatest guy ever. He really wants to be Zelda's boyfriend, and I don't know, I think it's pretty classic, and I like the interactions so far that have gone through there. Certain things that they've adapted to the motion controls I feel work better than others, like the flying mechanics. They did not explain them very well. It was very difficult for me to get used to it. I have, but still, I don't really like using motion controls for flying things. I hate in Mario Galaxy the one level where you have to play as the Stingray and use motion controls to go through the water track with no walls. So like things like that really bug me. And you're using that loft wing to fly in between all of the areas, so I don't know. It makes me wish that there was a function to flip between buttons and non-button controls on the fly, because controlling your loft wing with the button controls works so well, but using the sword works a lot better in motion controls. So I kind of wish they'd mapped maybe like the minus button automatically switches between them, rather than me having to go into the menus to flip it, and which takes time and is very annoying. I don't want to have to do that every single time I fly back to the surface, from the surface to fly around. I think that's kind of dumb. But overall, I'm liking it. I will have a review coming out at some point, and I look forward to hearing you guys' response. How are you enjoying the game? Just let me know. Keep me posted. I'm loving it, and we'll have to see. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the review, I'm not going to like it anymore. Maybe I'll think it's the greatest game of all time. It's sort of up in the air right now. There's functions that I like, functions that I don't like, so we'll have to see. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this video. We love talking to you guys. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like these. Lastly, check out our Twitter account for gameplay of the latest releases. But most importantly of all, remember to always stay 1-up.